Hello, students. The topic of my today's discussion is the poem Anthem for Doomed Youth, written by the famous war poet Wilfred Owen. The poem is prescribed in the syllabus of B.A Semester 2nd of Punjab University, Chandigarh. The poet Wilfred Owen was a leading English poet of the First World War. He became famous after his death for the poems which he wrote during the war. His total war experience was only 4 months, of which 5 weeks were spent on the front lines. All war poetry is based on his first hand experience. He wrote realistic war poetry in which he highlighted the horrors of war. After his death, his poems were collected and published by Sassoon, who was an English poet, writer, and soldier. Some of Owen's best known works are Insensibility, Anthem for Doomed Youth, Futility, and Strange Meeting. Today we will discuss the brief summary of the poem. The title of the poem, Anthem for Doomed Youth, refers to the song sung by the choir. Choir means group of singers in the church for the young soldiers doomed to die in action. Doomed here means the soldiers who are certain to die in the battlefield. The poem emphasizes the fact that all the rites and ceremonies in the memory of the dead soldiers are of no use. The poet is not in favor of ringing bells to announce the death of a soldier killed in action in the war so that people may pray for the departing soul. It is because soldiers die the death of cattle in the battlefield. In war, the guns are as cruel and angry as monsters. Only the rapid action of the guns and rifles says prayers for the dying soldiers. In the present circumstances, all rituals or the ceremonies of tolling bells. Tolling means sounding or ringing the bells and saying prayers seem to be a mockery. Mockery means the act of foolishness. Nobody mourns the death of the fighting soldiers killed in action in the battlefield. Only the choirs in the church sing mourning songs or the songs which are full of sorrow or grief. They go mad in mourning. Bugles are sounded from sad shires or the areas in the honor of those soldiers. But these are all useless rituals and ceremonies. The deaths narrate a story of reckless violence and not of heroism. Lighted candles may be held in the hands of boys or in the hands of the relatives of the dead soldiers to bid farewell to these soldiers as a ritual. It will certainly be much better if the holy light shines in the eyes of the boys as a token of farewell. The pale faces of girls will serve as the heavy cloth spread over the coffins of these soldiers. The girls here means the wives of the dead soldiers. The tenderness of silent minds will be the offering of flowers to them, and the slow darkness of each evening will be like a drawing down of the blinds. Blinds here means the curtains. It refers to the usual custom of drawing down the curtains for a few days in a house when a death has taken place. No such custom is observed during a war. Only the slow darkness of the evening will serve as a drawing down of blinds for the soldiers killed in action or in the battlefield. On the whole, the poem Anthem for Doomed Youth shows the futility of war in the form of death of soldiers for whom the prayers and mourning is useless. Death is the only outcome of war. A soldier doesn't die a normal human death, so all the rituals performed for his death are as senseless as his cruel death. Thank you.